What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope you all are having a great day so far today. You know what? I tried something for the first time today, and that shit blew my mind. I was because I buy Starbucks coffee right from the grocery store. I usually buy dark roast, medium roast, and blonde roast. So I bought a different coffee creamer because I'm a big hazelnut coffee creamer fan. I always do non-sugar. Um, and I bought the pumpkin spice one. Yo, when I tell you that pumpkin spice creamer blew my mind, it blew my mind. It became my brand new favorite coffee creamer. So those are the two that I rock with now. The pumpkin spice and the hazelnut, can't go wrong with that shit. It's amazing. Like, I'm ready for another cup right now. It was that good. Um so anyway, getting into this episode of GH, I do not feel bad for Nicholas whatsoever. I don't feel bad for the hell Esme is about to put that man through. I don't feel bad. If you remember a few months ago, I told y'all that Esme was going to give the Cassadines a run for their money. See, that's why they need people like Stefan and Stavros and Helena. They need the OG Cassadine crew. They need them. Because Helena would have been slit her little fucking throat. Helena would have been slit her shit. Stefan probably would have poisoned that ass by now. Like, they would have got rid of her by now. That's why you need the old school. See, it ain't nothing like an old school party because an old school party don't end. And that's why you need old school people. Because they would have knew how to handle a little chick like her. Like, I'm surprised that she wasn't evaporated months ago. Like, get rid of her. Like, what's taking y'all so long? But I like her now, though. I mean, I wasn't really too keen on Esme before because she was pissing me off. But now it's like, I like you. You causing the right amount of drama that I like. That messy shit. And she really tried to run when Nicholas was like, "Who the hell are you?" She tried to haul ass out that back door. Nicholas said, I. The way he grabbed her was so fucking funny. Like, he yoked that ass up. I'm like, Nicholas, you got to be gentle in her condition. So basically, she was going on and on, accusing him of helping Ava, try to kill her. And she was like, "You got to do better next time." I'm like, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't use those words. So basically, he kept accusing her of being a hook killer. Since she had a connection to quite a few of the victims. She was like, "Yeah, that wasn't me." See, I do believe she had something to do with Oz getting killed. I believe that. The other ones, I'm not so sure about that. That I can't be 100% accurate on. Um, but yeah, Nicholas is in for a rude awakening. Like, he's sitting there trying to talk about something. "Oh, I'm gonna call the cops right now." She said, "I wouldn't do that if I was you. I don't think you will. Because you're gonna want to protect us." He was looking at her like, "What the hell are you talking about?" She pulled that little cape back and showed off that baby bump. She said, "Our baby. I'm pregnant." I said, "Oh, Lord, I'm not even surprised." I expected that was going to be the next card she was going to play, the whole pregnancy card. Um, my thing is, GH, staffers over at General Hospital, I love y'all dearly, but how come this heifer got a baby bump and Willow doesn't? Willow was pregnant a few weeks before Esme would have gotten pregnant. So shouldn't Willow have a baby bump before her? I'm just saying. Like, what are we doing? We're de-aging fetuses and we're aging fetuses. Like, I don't know, but y'all need to get that shit together because Willow should be showing way before Miss Esme should be showing. I'm just saying, like, she look like she about halfway ready to pop. I was ready to take one of them little pics. Like, as soon as she pulled that little baby bump out, I just wanted to take a pic and just and see if it'll pop, and a bunch of water will bust out. Cause I'm like, is that really, like, are you really pregnant or are you just fucking with us? Like, are you, like, if she is really pregnant, Nicholas might want to get out the checkbook because it's gonna take some zeros. I'm just saying, better do something. Cause now if Ava find out about this, Nicholas, you are really done. You thought you were gonna get Ava back, not with this child. No, you're not. Not gonna happen, sir. So, anyway, moving on from that, I was here for Michael and Sonny showdown. I was, because I felt like they needed to get everything out on the table, and Sonny was over it. Like, Sonny was like, "Listen, we need to fix this shit. He was like, I'm tired of this. He said, you keep coming at me. He said, you know, mess with my business. And he said, you've done a pretty damn good job so far. You cost me a lot of money so far. Got my shipment all up in the harbor. You convinced a lot of people not to buy Corinthos coffee and stuff. So you're messing with my money at this point. And I do feel like if it was anybody other than Michael, Sonny would have got rid of them by now. Sonny would have dealt with them. But I feel like he keeps stopping himself from going hard at Michael or retaliating because he keeps reminding himself, that's my son, that's my son. Because we all know how Sonny is. If Sonny gets going on Michael, he might forget that that's his son and be like, you know, and treat you like you're a dude off the street. And that's what you don't want. That's what Michael wouldn't want. I feel like that whole conversation was real because Sonny kept trying to tell Michael, put yourself in my shoes. I didn't ask to get, you know, lose my memory. I didn't ask to be put into a place like Nixon Falls. He said, I couldn't predict that any of that was going to happen. And Michael's argument is pretty much, well, you may not have predicted it, but look at your actions after you regained your memory. Like, look at what you've done. So Sonny was like, put yourself in my shoes. Say all of this happened to you. And Wiley was coming at you, treating you the way that you're treating me. Would you go to war with him, or would you, you know, continue to try to, you know, get his love back and try to explain things to him, never give up on him? And you could tell Sonny's words were having an effect on Michael, because at one point he even started calling him dad again. So you could tell he was getting through to Michael, because Sonny was coming at him like, listen, we done buried too many people. Jason, Morgan, he said, you know, Brando, he was like, my dad. He said, we done lost too many damn people in this family. We can't lose each other. He said, because whatever happened, he said, what, you know, he was like, Morgan, the last time I seen him was running out the door, and I couldn't even tell him how much I love him. You know what I mean? He said, I hope to God that he knows. You know, I think he was really getting through to Michael at one point. The problem was Nina walked up. Soon as Nina walked up, that's when Michael reverted back to the old way, and he was like, you know what, Sonny, to hell with this and all this. I said, here we go. Here we go. And Dante pretty much had enough of it. Dante said, listen, I'm tired of this shit. Dante said, I'm done. He said, this need to end. Because he told Michael, he said, at the end of the day, all you're doing is causing destruction at this point. That's all you're doing. He said, this is going to end bad if you keep going with this shit. And I agree with Dante, because Dante's over it. He's tired of feeling like he's being put in the middle of it. He's tired of the shenanigans. And Sonny made valid points, though, because he was like, you know, Michael acts like he perfect and stuff like that. Like, you know, you would never do this to your son. You would never hurt your son. Hell, Sonny thought he would never hurt his kids before. He thought he would never do some of the stuff that his kids went through. He never thought in a billion years his kids would ever have to go through, but they went through it. Because at the end of the day, it's showing that your parents are not perfect. Like, you got some parents that's out there on drugs, that's out there. That don't mean that they don't love you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their demons. Everybody go through things. People are not, you know, perfect people. You know, and that's what he's trying to highlight to Michael. Like, you could say, oh, you would never hurt your child the way I hurt you, or did you dirty, or, you know, whatever. You could say that, but life is unpredictable, which is so true, because you don't know the situation that you're going to be put in a few years that might impact your son, and he may hate you for it. You don't know. You know what I mean? You got to put yourself in those shoes. You know what I mean? And stop being so judgmental and thinking that you're better. You know, that you're going to be the better parent. Parents make mistakes. That's what, you know, that's what it is. But you know what? If Michael wants to keep coming at Sonny at this point, I feel like Sonny needs to just take the damn gloves off at this point. Because Sonny keeps trying to appeal to Michael, but Michael just, you know, I feel like as long as Sonny is with Nina, that's going to be the problem. That's going to be an issue. And I remember Dante told Sonny that months ago. He was like, listen, you can't have it all. You may not be able to have it all. Nina plus your family. You may not. And I think what Dante said is starting to come to fruition. Because it's looking more and more like that. Like, Michael was ready to concede. I saw it. He was ready to give in and be like, you know what, let's fix it. But Nina popped up. I feel like that's the problem. So, if, like I said, if Michael continues down this road with Sonny, at some point, Sonny's just going to have to throw in the gloves and be like, you know what, fuck it. He want a war. Let's go to war. He going to have to start treating Michael like a dude off the street. Like you would treat your enemy. It is what it is. This is what he asking for. What else can you do? So Dante pretty much went to go see Dex and stuff. And of course, Dex ain't talking. Dex is, you know, shutting down, saying, oh, Sonny didn't do this. Whoever your source is a lie. So, you know, there was nothing else Dante could do about it. He offered him protection against Sonny, but of course Dex said no because this is all a part of Michael's plan. You know what I mean? Michael wants to, you know, have Dex deny everything just so that way it could look like, you know, Dex is loyal. So that way Sonny could give him better assignments, you know, that can, you know, incriminate Sonny and get him on bigger charges. And the plan looked like it may start to work. You know what I'm pissed about? That Dex gets a whole apartment and my vets don't. My veterans, some of them are living out of hotels, and I'm not here for this. I'm like, no, we need to get some sets for the vets. Like, if they're gonna be sticking around, I mean, at least the contracted vets. Like, some of them need a set. Hell, even the recurring ones. I feel like they still, you know, they deserve it. They've been on the show off and on for decades, so why not? We need to see some of those sets. But yeah, Michael, I feel like his plan at some point is gonna hit a snag. So anyway, moving on from that. Speaking of hitting a snag, Anna and this plan of hers. Like, this whole thing is just dead on arrival at this point. Because I feel like they're playing a dangerous game with Lucy. Lucy don't know what she getting in. I feel like she's, you know, she's in over her head with this Victor thing. Valentine's plan, though, in the beginning seemed like it was a smart idea. To find a way to get a bug in Victor's room so they could hear his conversations and stuff like that. That was smart, and of course he needed Nina's help. Because Nina at first was like, hell no, whatever Cassadine games y'all playing, I don't want nothing to do with it until he mentioned Charlotte. Once he mentioned Charlotte, Nina did not hesitate. She was like, I'm in. You know what I mean? But he knew that he couldn't call the front desk and ask the front desk people like, oh, I need to access to Victor's room. Because the front desk people obviously would have snitched on him. And they would have been like, yeah, you know, your son asked to get it. No. So he needed Nina. Since she the co-owner of the hotel now, she could, you know, flex a little muscle, flex a little power, and handle it a different way. Because Lucy barged into his room or whatever, all in tears and whatnot, talking about, oh, she just couldn't bring herself to bring the flowers to Brando's memorial. So, of course, Johan was going to do it for her. On Victor's orders, of course. Johan need a raise, because I know he's tired of this little flunky shit. He need a raise. Like, the man was almost thrown from a bridge by Drew. Like, I would have demanded a raise. I almost lost my life. I would have told Victor, I'd be like, bitch, I almost lost my life because of you. You gonna give me a raise whether you want to or not. It is what it is. So that's when Nina had called him. Nina was really terrible on that phone at first. Like, yeah, we gotta switch your room. And you doing too much, you know, improvising on that, Miss Nina. You need to do better. Because she was improvising like a motherfucker. And I'm like, he's starting to sense that something ain't right already on that phone. Because the little flimsy excuse she came up with ain't make no sense. Plus, she kept kind of pausing and sounded like she winging it. And I'm like, she ain't talk with confidence on that phone. Talking about, oh, I gotta move you to another room. And this, you need to sound a bit more convincing than that. Because shit, you wouldn't have convinced the donkey with that little maneuver. But, you know, it worked. In soap logic, it worked. Because in real life, that shit wouldn't have worked. So he moved rooms and stuff like that, gave him a complimentary bottle of wine. So Anna and Valentine were sitting there listening in on it and whatnot. And Lucy was starting to overplay her hand with it. Like, talking about, oh, you know, you always so organized and so confident, and I want to know your plans, like how you do all that, how you just. And Victor definitely, I feel like he on to something with her. Like, he wasn't trusting her. I could see it in his face. Like, I feel like they did the wrong thing by using her. I feel like if you're going to use a female to get Victor to spill his guts, it should have been somebody like Obrecht. Because he's really in love with her. Like, he's obsessed with that woman. So that's somebody I feel like could have got him to drop his guard down. That's some, you know, because he know Lisa. And Lisa is, you know, a criminal in her own right, too. You know what I mean? She's done nefarious things over the years as well. So I think he's more inclined to trust somebody like her with sensitive information. Whereas, you know, he don't know Lucy like that. You know what I mean? So why would he trust her all of a sudden? They only known each other a short amount of time. And yeah, he's enamored by her, but not that much to where he's going to tell some big secret about himself. I doubt he's willing to do that. And he even told her, he said, so why don't we cut to the chase and you just be honest with me? Because I feel like you're not being totally honest with me. He could sense things about people. And I know he know Lucy playing his ass. Deep down, he know. But of course, before he could say anything, the fucking deputy mayor, Eileen Ashby, she was sitting there blowing up his phone, letting him know that they got a problem. I couldn't stand her little monkey tail. Ugh, I couldn't stand her. Like, she's sitting there coming up in Robert's office after Anna was there because Anna want Robert to get some bogus arrest warrant. I'll get on that in a second. Get some bogus arrest warrant and whatnot. And, she up in there, oh, so what was Anna Devane doing here? Before Robert could say anything, I'm sitting there looking at it on the TV. Before he could say anything, I was like, bitch, ain't none of your business. Why you gonna come in the DA's office? Why was she there? You do realize that's his ex-wife / baby mama. Like, he ain't got to explain nothing to you. And Robert told her, he said, not that it's any of your damn business. I said, exactly. Who is you? And then gonna come in there talking about, oh, you sure that's what it is? Because he told her that they were planning some trip to Australia, I guess with Emma or whatever at some point. And she said, oh, I hope that's all it is. Bitch, who are you? Don't make me toss your ass out of my office. Like, don't come in my office with your foolishness. So she's sitting there because Anna's known for using the PCPD and WSB business, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. Again, bitch, who are you? Last time I checked, the mayor's office has no control over the DA's office. So again, get the hell out the office. And gonna sit there, because I'm gonna recommend or I'm gonna do some type of review on him or whatever to make sure that everything's on the up and up and he's not using, police resources or, PCPD resources on the WSB case. I'm like, first of all, I know you ain't just threaten my guy. Like, you don't threaten Mr. Robert Scorpio in this manner. You might want to take your little self on about this office. So Robert at that point, he had to call. He tried to get in touch with Anna. Like, listen, you need to abort this mission because it's true. I mean, Anna's sitting there asking for a huge favor. Like, she want him to get some dummy arrest warrant to detain Johan. I'm like, on what grounds? What charges? You would have to get a judge to sign off on that warrant. A judge is not going to sign off if you ain't got nothing on him. They're not going to waste their time. So, of course, Robert need to, abort this because he said at the end of the day, you got the deputy mayor looking so closely into y'all, even though she ain't got no authority over y'all office, over the DA's office. It's like, still, you don't need her in on this operation. I feel like Anna was asking for way too much and giving very little information. Like, she wouldn't even tell him the details of what she needed it for. So I'm like, how you going to ask him to do you a favor, but you won't even let him in on this thing? Like, you asking for way too much if you ask me. I'm just saying, like, Anna, this whole plan is backfiring. You might want to come up with something new. So anyway, moving on from that. I love Ava and Trina's relationship, but I do feel like Trina does confide in Ava way more than she does her own mama. Every time you see her mostly with Ava more than you see her with Portia, which is kind of odd to me. I'm like, okay. But, once the truth comes out about who her real daddy is, you might see her even more so with Ava than Portia. She's still on the fence about going out of town with Rory. Like, she was even ignoring his text messages. I feel like her being on the fence about it, I feel like it has a lot to do with her feelings for Spencer. Because she claiming that, she not ready for all that. I mean, I get it because she probably has PTSD from the last little trip that she took with Esme. And Ava told her, she said, listen, don't let Esme stop your life. Don't let her win. And I totally agree. But I also feel like her feelings for Spencer has a lot to do with this, where her trying to, get out of the trip or contemplating not going. At this point, with this serial killer running around, I don't know what to think of Rory right about now because we don't know shit about him. Like, we don't know who his mama is, his daddy. We don't know who you related to. So, if she gonna go out of town, I suggest they hire her some guards or something. But even still, her going out of town with him, I don't think it's going to be bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust him at this moment. But, if they're going to stay in a hotel room or something, you could always get separate rooms. I doubt he intends on them to have the same room or anything like that. So, I'm glad that she decided to go because you definitely shouldn't stop your life. But, carry you some mace or some pepper spray or something on you just in case. I'm just saying. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.